Hi everyone, I'm Sneha. I'm working as assistant professor. Uh, Now I'll give introduction to microwave lab. So this is microwave bench setup. This is called microwave bench setup. So actually this setup consists of all rectangular waveguide components. So you can say a microwave bench setup is a rectangular waveguide over which various components like klystron mount, source, isolator, variable attenuator, frequency meter, slotted section. All these components, they are mounted together. So this is called a microwave bench setup. So let me introduce each component individually. So coming to the source, we can have two types of source. One type of source is called klystron power supply and the next source is gun power supply. So there are two sources in the laboratory. One is klystron power supply and the second one is gun power supply. So I'll be introducing what is this klystron power supply. So klystron power supply, generally it has to operate in one 3/4 mode. So in order to operate it in one 3/4 mode, we have to vary the beam voltage to around 300 volts. So here you'll be having a knob. One knob is CW, AM, FM and external. CW is continuous wave, AM is amplitude modulation, FM is frequency modulation, EXT is external, and here we'll be having another knob. One is beam, next is current, that is beam current. Here it is beam voltage, beam current and repeller voltage. If you want to connect any external devices, we have to connect here a probe to it where it is indicated like external. And there are another knobs. See here we are having AM. So for AM we'll be having two knobs like amplitude and frequency. Even for FM also we can have two knobs, amplitude and frequency. And in order to vary the beam voltage, we have to keep this knob at beam position and we have to vary this knob. Generally this must be around 300 volts or up to 300 volts you can say. And next we have to move this knob to current position. So directly we can see the current in this display, and that current will be around 20 milliamperes. And finally we'll have a repeller voltage. So in order to vary the repeller voltage, this must be varied. So in order to operate this klystron power supply, my beam voltage must be in minimum position and my repeller voltage must be in maximum position. So repeller must be varied from maximum to minimum and beam voltage must be varied from minimum to maximum. So this is about klystron power supply. Now coming to the gun power supply, generally the gun diode is an oscillator and gun power supply must be operated in the middle of negative resistance region. So in order to operate in the middle of negative resistance region, we have to vary this gun bias. So if we vary this gun bias voltage, so this is the voltage and this is the current. So if we vary this gun bias voltage, here the voltage will be displayed. To this particular voltage some current will be coming here. If we want to have any modulation, here we are having modulation like this is amplitude modulation knob and this is frequency modulation knob, and there is a gun output knob and modulated output knob. So some probe will be connected to the microwave bench setup. So this is the microwave bench setup. So generally this setup is used for learning the basic concepts of standing waves and mismatched terminations. So this is the klystron mount. So whenever we are using a klystron power supply, we should have followed by klystron mount. Whenever we use a gun power supply, followed by we'll be using a gun diode. Okay, so this is a klystron mount. So this is an oscillator. So since a beam voltage of 300 volts we are giving to this, so it gets heated up, and also it is very costly, and in order to protect this we'll keep a cooling fan back of it. So always cooling fan must be there back of the klystron mount to protect this. Okay, next we are having isolator. So what is isolator means? It is a 2-port device and it is unidirectional. So at the output side, whenever we have any load, that gets absorbed by the isolator. So isolator will allow the signal from the source to the load, not from the load to the source. Next is variable attenuator. So what is variable attenuator means? Here we'll be having a scale. Variable attenuator is used to reduce the power level of a signal. So this is a scale we are having. This range will be from 0 to 25 dB. Now this variable attenuator is of two types, variable and flap attenuator. At present this is variable attenuator, where the attenuation we can take the readings from 0 to 25 dB. Next is frequency meter. Frequency meter is also known as wave meter. So outward, if you look, it is cylindrical in shape, where you have a rotary cap. Inside you will be having a rotary scale also with some tuning dials, and outsidely if you see, you will be having some plastic enclosure where a vertical pointer is placed like this, and inside will be having a ring. If you rotate this rotary cap, the ring will be moving clockwise, and if you rotate the rotary cap anti-clockwise, the ring will be moving anti-clockwise direction. And the range of this frequency meter is from 8 gigahertz to 12.4 gigahertz, 8.4 gigahertz to 12.4 gigahertz. So based on the ring, at this ring we'll be taking the readings. So inside this, like this is the base, this is the waveguide base. Inside this waveguide we have kept this cavity meter. So inside we'll be having a cavity meter which is tuned to a particular frequency. Next we are having a slotted section. So this slotted section is used to measure the VSWR. This is tunable probe. This probe can be moved with a probe, like this can be moved with a probe. Now this tunable probe is connected to a slot. This is a tunable probe. This is connected to a slot. This is placed over a broader side of a waveguide. Now here we will have a vernier scale. Now this scale is used to locate the exact position of tunable probe, like nodes and anti-nodes of standing wave pattern can be noted down. Finally, we'll be having a detector mount. With the help of detector mount, we'll be taking the readings. So from here, we can connect the probe either to the CRO to look the waveform, or this can be connected to a VSWR meter. Like the tunable probe can be connected even to a VSWR meter, where you have three scales here: SWR, expanding SWR, and expanded dB. So whatever we want, we can take here. Okay, so here we have some knobs like gain, and here we'll be having some exponential, normal, and 5 dB. Generally this will be placed in normal mode, and here if you want like 0, 10, 20, 30, like according to our requirements, we can change these knobs to different positions. Okay, so and also in microwave lab we are having different waveguide components. So from starting I am saying these are all waveguide components. Why? Because if we see the cross section here, it is rectangle in shape. Rectangle means it comes under rectangular waveguide. Okay, now this is called directional coupler. I am just introducing the waveguide components. This is called directional coupler. So it is a 4-port device. Directional coupler, it is a 4-port device. This one is a primary waveguide and this one is a secondary waveguide. So directional coupler. So this directional coupler is used to improve the directivity. There are 4 ports, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Since the directional coupler does not allow the backward power, the 4th port is always terminated. Okay. Now the other 3 components are, this is H-plane T. It's a 3-port device where and this is a E-plane T. Okay, this is a H-plane T where we have it's a 3-port device, and this is called circulator. I'll be explaining in detail in the experiment. So this is called circulator, and this is the matched termination. For example, if we have 2 to 3 ports, for one port we'll be giving the input, from the other port we'll be taking the output. So if we have more than 2 ports, that can be closed with a matched termination. Okay, and final point, the wave that is passing through the setup, the mode of the wave is basically TE10 mode, and whose cutoff wavelength will be 2A. Now the dimensions of any rectangular waveguide will be like A by B. This A will be 2.286 and this B dimension will be 1.016 centimeter. Okay, so this is the introduction about the microwave engineering laboratory. Thank you.